Cinder.elly by Francis Minters. Illustrated by G. Brian Carros. Or Karras, or whatever. Cinder.elly. Once upon a time, or so they tell me, there was a girl called Cinder.elly. That's Cinder.elly. Elly was good and she was pretty. She lived with her folks in New York City. That girl was so good. With Mom and Dad and Sue and Nellie, her sisters were mean to Cinder.elly. When school let out, they'd watch TV and they'd ask Cinder.elly to serve iced tea. Or else they'd play a video game, but they'd never ask Elly to do the same. Sometimes when Elly was washing the floor, they'd slide across it and out the door. What do you think would happen then? Why, Elly would have to wash it again. Elly cleaned up because she liked to be neat, from their hair on their head to the toes on her feet. She worked so hard it was a pity she had no fun in New York City. But then one day Elle got a note, so did her sisters, somebody wrote. Sue, Elle, and Nellie. It's good. Okay. We picked your name. You've won free tickets to a basketball game. We accept with pleasure, said Sue and Elly. And I do too, said Cinder.elly. Her sisters just looked at her and smiled. And then they said, you can't go, child. But I'm invited. It says so there. You're too young, Elly, and you've got nothing to wear. I'll shop, said Elly, but you've no money. Elly's mother agreed. They're so right, honey. There's no money for 3, only money for 2. Let your sisters go, Elly. They're older than you. So Elly's big sister went right out shopping, and Elly stayed home and did the mopping. The night of the game, as Elle watched them go, an old lady came by and said, Oh, Elly, hello. Excuse me, said Elle, but I know all the dangers. I'm never allowed to speak to strangers. I'm your grandmother, Elly. Don't you recognize me? Last time I saw you, you were only 2 or 3. I'm here because we have things to do. Keep your eyes on my cane. I have something for you. She waved her cane once. Elle squealed like a flute. Her clothes had turned into a basketball suit. And here's something else to go with your clothes. Glass sneakers, said Godma. You'll need 2 of those. Now wait, grandmother. Hold on a minute. I'm just watching the game. I don't want to be in it. Oops, said the lady. Excuse my mistake. Let's see what else my cane can make. And poof! Elly wore a satiny shirt with a beautiful flowery red miniskirt. Elly was happy because she looked so fine. Now go to the game and have a good time. Thank you, dear Godma. I'm glad that you came, but how am I going to get to the game? That's an easy one, dear. I've got a plan, and I'll send you off on this old garbage can. She waved her cane and said, Kerp-a-like! The garbage can became a bike. Elle got right on and almost fell off, 'cause riding a bike in glass sneakers is tough. You'll be fine, Elle. I know that is true. There's just one thing I ask of you. Be home by 10, or else, my dear, your pretty new clothes will disappear. No problem, purred Ellie, as sweet as a kitty. Then she rode off through New York City. The game was just starting when Elle got her to her seat. Out ran Prince Charming. People rose to their feet. Let's go, Prince Charming, Elle yelled with the rest. Of all her school's players, Prince was the best. Prince was passing the ball, but he looked at the stands. Boom! Some huge guy knocked the ball from his hands. Ellie stood on her toes and raised her arms fast. She caught that ball before it flew past. Hooray! Yelled the crowd, except Sue and Ellie. The sisters just stared at Cinder.elly. Is that Ellie? Asked Sue. No, that's a bad guess. She's older than Ellie and much better dressed. Here's the ball, Ellie shouted as she threw it up high. In the future, be careful. Thanks, miss. I'll try. Prince stared at Ellie and said, Glad to meet ya. After the game, let's go get some pizza. What's your name? He asked. I can't tell you, I fear. For Elle was afraid that her sisters might hear. When the game ended, the other side clapped with They were good sports, even though they got zapped. Will you wait for me, please? Prince stopped by Elle's chair. I'll shower and change and blow dry my hair. Elle stayed till the clock blinked 9:58. In 2 more minutes, she would be late. She got up and ran. It's sad, but it's true. A lace came undone, and she lost a glass shoe. But she could not stop now, so she hurried on. All she could see was a trash can. Her bike was gone. Ellie waved at the cane and said kerplike, but the can wouldn't change back into a bike. Then she looked at her clothes. Oh no, they're the same as the ones I was wearing before Godmother came. She waved at her clothes. Poof, they didn't change either. Where's Godma? She wondered. Now that I need her? Meanwhile, Prince Charming, looking pretty cool, was busy signing photos for the fans at school. When he was finished, he looked all about. Ellie wasn't inside, so Prince went out. Outside, he saw no one, just some girl who ran off down the street with a huge garbage can. But one step he spied one sparkly shoe. This sneaker, said Charming, gives me a clue. Next morning, Cinder.elly tried giving a prince a call, but his number wasn't listed in the book at all. At the same time, Charming sat at the table. He drew the sneaker as he went, as well as he was able. It's getting blurry. Okay, there we go. Beneath it, he wrote, for all to see. If you lost this sneaker, please telephone me. Then he wrote his name and phone number too. He went to the copy shop to print a few. Prince taped his copies once they were complete to every single lamppost on that busy street. Many women phoned him with feet too big or small. Prince Charming wasn't happy. Won't the right one ever call? Hey gang, look out. Here's Sue, here's Nellie with the poster to show to Cinder.elly. Let's call up, Prince said Sue and Nellie. That's not your shoe, said Cinder.elly. Oh no, they said. But we'll try it. Since how else will we ever get to meet a real live prince? They phoned Prince Charming, and just as they planned, he dropped in to visit with a sneaker in hand. Prince was surprised by Nellie and Sue. He said, I don't remember either of you. Sue tried the shoe and fell down flat. Poor Sue, laughed Nell. Your foot's too fat. Next, Nellie tried and went into a tizzy. The shoe was so tight it made her feel dizzy. Then Ellie came out from where she'd been looking. Her sisters yelled, Ellie, go back to your cooking. Cinder.elly sat down and put on the shoe. Then she took out the other and put that one on too. "Excuse me," called someone. "May I come in?" "Please do," said Elly. "Godma, where have you been?" "I've been busy," she answered, "but I know my duty to see Cinder.elly and her friend Prince Cutie." "Prince Charming," he corrected. "Well, how do you do? It's time you saw Elly in the clothes that you knew." "Poof, poof," she waved Elly's clothes. She waved. Elly's clothes became the ones that she had worn to the basketball game. "Yikes!" screamed the sisters. "Shush," Grandmother told them. "You deserve a good scolding." And she started to scold them. "You're forgiven," said Elly. "I'm sure that you've seen that it's awfully wrong to be terribly mean." "You're right, Cinder.elly, and we promise we know it. If we feel mean again, we just won't show it." Prince said to Elly, "Let's go spread the news." "Wait, Prince," said Elly, "till I change my shoes." They walked down the street holding hands pretty snappy, and everyone lived forever happy. The end.